Hi everyone and welcome back to the True Vine Connection channel. My name is Kim and I'm glad that you are spending some time with me on today. So on today we have these paper clay ornaments that I made, and I am going to link a video in the description bar below this video so that you can go there and get the recipe. I will put the recipe that I used. There are all kinds for paper clay. If you research paper clay on YouTube, you can find all kinds of recipes. The one that I used, I did not use cornstarch to make it because we have paper mache, paper clay, and all kinds of different things. I have another video with something else that we're going to do, but I just wanted to show you guys these. The recipe that I used talcum powder, toilet paper, drywall joint compound, and glue. And I they have different kinds. I chose not to use the one that had flour and cornstarch in it because I didn't want the mold issue, especially since it's still summer and it's so humid, especially as humid where I'm staying at. So I didn't want that. But if you do use the one with cornstarch, with cornstarch or flour in that recipe, you can add bleach and salt, which will help, you know, combat that. Okay, but anyway, like I said, what I will link a video so you can go there. And if you guys want me to actually show you how I made my mixture, which is in this tub here, and this is what it looks like, and I'm going to take some out and we're going to make something here. So let me move these. Okay, so now we're back. So this is my paper clay that I made, and I made these different things, and I tried to make them as thin as I could so that they could dry completely. And I set them on a flat surface in front of my fan. You might hear that blowing right now, so that they could dry. So I'm going to do a little demonstration. If you see, this is a little wet here. But anyway, we're going to get a little bit out. And we are going to make something with it. Now, if you don't like getting your hands messy, you might want to wear some gloves. But I don't really like it being this wet. And if I wanted to get a little drier, I can always add some more talcum powder to it. But let me get a little bit here, and I'm going to show you how I made the heart shape. So I roll a ball. There's someone calling me while I'm videoing. I'll get back to them later. Okay, so I roll the ball, and you can work with this just like you would with regular like Play-Doh or whatever. And then I made this circle, and I took this card, and we're going to make a heart. So I'll show you how I did that. Put a little dent right here in the center of the circle. And You can use some of the same things if you work with Play-Doh or whatever, some of those same little tools that you use for that. Let me smooth this out to a little point here, and I want it to be really flat, so I use something to kind of flatten it down. Put some plastic, like plastic wrap or something over it to help flatten it down. And then, because I want it to be kind of thin, the thinner it is, but you don't want it so thin that it'll be brittle. So try to, my little workspace is so tight here. I want to stay in view. Oops. So, and when you get ready to lift it up, all you got to do is just slide the little card under there. So let's finish shaping this up, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I made a elongated heart, and I'm going to move it over. Well, let's put some designs in it. And I use different things to add a design to it. So let's see. Here's a plastic fork or spork. That's not really putting any imprint in it. I don't want to press down so hard that it becomes misshapen either. Not that it's so perfectly shaped already. Very rustic. Okay, now what I do want to do is put a hole, and let me put that in here so that you'll have somewhere to hang it from. And I know this is early, but you can make all kinds of shapes. If you have some old cookie cutters, you can use those and make things, and you can make shapes and things maybe for Christmas. That's why I was saying, I know that it's early, we still in summer, but these are some nice things that you can do. Use cookie cutters. Alrighty, so let's get this straightened out on the sides a little bit. And okay, so those of you who are looking and saying that's not the same heart that I originally made, you're very observant, because it's not. When I was moving it over, I kind of broke it apart, so I made a different one. But let me just put a hole in here so it can have a way to hang it up, and I'll work some more on that one later. Okay, and you want to work with it while it's still moist, and sometimes I'll add a little bit of talcum powder to it to get it back, you know. Let me add a little bit here. It's like working with dough to try to tighten it back up some. Okay, so Now I'm going to show you how I made my leaf. I actually rolled it like this, stretched it out a little bit, pinched one end, but you want to flatten it out some. So let me use this to, this one is going to be kind of big. And you can use something like this. I use this old container here. Oops, that peeled off some. Okay. This is kind of like working with Play-Doh a little bit, only this is a lot wetter. But anyway, I tried to get this little leaf shape going. Point it at the end. And wherever you're going to let it dry, I would just leave it on that surface, especially something that's flat and smooth. And as it dries, once it's dry, it'll lift right off. But you don't want to move this around. It's a lot. And if you make your, you know, you don't want to make whatever you're making too thin, but you don't want it to be too thick either. Alrighty. Okay, so I basically got my shape the way that I want it. And one of my leaves, I kind of, let me show you. One of them, I left it basically flat, and the other one, I kind of twisted it a little bit. And you can also see that there's some color in there as well. But let me show you how I put my marks in. Took the card, and I just went like this. Okay, and then can take something and put a little hole in there so that it'll have somewhere to hang from. Now if you want to add some color, let me use a different, oops. You want to add some color to your clay, just take a little bit of, this is what I did to add color. It's going to make it even wetter. Whoops. But I added some acrylic paint. And like I said, if you don't want your hands to be yucky, wear some gloves. But all of this will come off with soap and water. So I'm not worried about it. And if you add paint to it, you know that you're going to be making your, because it's wet, it's going to add more moisture. So for me, I just added a little bit more talcum powder, and if I wanted more color, I'll add more paint, and then I'll add more talcum powder to it to try to dry it up. But that was just in the clay. If you want, you can, once they're dry, then you can go back and paint and decorate. And that's what we're going to do with one of them. And I'll be right back. Okay, so Now we are going to do two things right quick. One, I'm going to coat these. I'm not going to change the color. I'm just going to add just a little bit more blue to it to make the some of the veins in the leaf show up. Let me get a little brush here. Okay, so we are going to just add some little extra color in the design on these. So let me wet my brush just a little bit. I've already shook up this paint here, so we'll use it just to add a little more interest to this. Just a little bit around the edges there. Okay, now let's get that off of there, and then I'm going to add some silver. I like turquoise and silver jewelry, so we're going to make this kind of turquoise and silver. Let me shake this up a little bit. I'm trying not to make this video too long because a lot of people who don't want to see a long video, and that is partly the reason why I didn't actually make the clay on here. I'll make it on a different one if you guys want to see me make the clay. Alrighty, so just adding some little pops of color. I think I want to go back. What I do with this turquoise, I want to add a little bit more to it. Okay, and we'll let this dry while we're doing something else. Let me get a little bit and put it inside there. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a little while, and alright, and since all these pieces kind of go together, I'm going to work on them all together. So I'm going to go in here with this silver, and this is kind of a little swirl pattern. You probably hard to see it right now, but then I did in here. And once they're dry, I'm going to, once this paint has dried on here, then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to add a little bit of silver here and there. Once they're dry, I'm going to use some Gorilla Wood glue and water as a top coat and a hardener on here. Okay, so what I've been doing here is getting a little paint on this brush and putting it on my finger and just, well, I don't want that much, rubbing it with my finger over like that. And I like the way that looks. So we're going to do a little of the silver and the blue on this one as well. Get a little paint. We can just rub it with our finger. And then we'll do some silver on the back. And I'll get some blue. And we'll just rub it with our finger. A little more silver. And I'm going to do some silver. Like all over. And then just a little dab more blue. Again, this is acrylic paint, so it'll wash right off. I'm not worried about it coming off of my fingers or anything like that. So that's, I like that one. And I think I want to do this one, this piece as well. So yeah. And it makes them kind of unique. And then you can hang them on strings. Okay, so some little ways to display it. Let me let you look at them. I haven't put the Gorilla Glue on them yet, because once I put it on there, they're going to have to dry for a while. I would suggest that you would put a few coats of something on there, especially if you use the same recipe I did, because you want to make sure that they're good and hard and that they won't have any wilting or anything in them. So I put this one on this cord. That's an ideal that you could put it on this cord. This one I put on this little piece of lace, that leaf. You can somehow put them together, okay? Even this bigger piece, you know, you could use a nice piece of ribbon that you find somewhere, or other types of string or cord. And for those who do like junk journals and whatever, you can use these in a lot of decorative ways, and these make some nice these will make a nice gift to give to someone. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and again, make sure that you let this dry for as long as you need to let it dry. Let it, if you want it to be flat, not wilted, make sure that it's on a nice flat surface. And I would put it in front of a fan later. Well, it's summertime now, but if you watch this and it's in the cooler months, I would put it in front of a heat vent or some heat, like heat vent or something, to make sure that it dries and it cures really good. And then again, like I said, you know, once you decorate them, put some type of hardener on there, and they should be pretty good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I enjoyed it. It was fun. And you can comment in the comment section if you like this, and if you want to see me actually mix up the paper clay, and then I will do that on video. Also, I will make another video, and I'm going to show you some other things that I have made with these. So I want to try to keep this video pretty short. Okay, thanks again for watching, and if you have not subscribed yet, please click that subscription button. Comment down below that you're connected. And then I am going to put your name on one of these leaves and then add your name to our True Vine Connection family tree. So until next time, stay safe, be blessed, but most of all, stay connected to the True Vine. Bye-bye.